Good morning, everyone. It is 8:40 in the morning. It is another beautiful day here in Colorado, albeit a bit of a cloudier one. I don't know how much of this you can see, but it kind of gives you a good idea of how cloudy it is out here right now. But nothing really that looks stormy or like it might give us any trouble or anything like that. So we are going to be going to Estes Park today. I've only been there one time with my dad and his wife Denise. If you guys are watching this, hello, Dad and Denise. I did not see a ton of it when I went out there because it was more about spending time with them. But we're going to go out there. We're going to check it out. I was looking at some information on a waterfall that is out there. So we're going to go and try to find that. I think it might be the one I'm thinking of already, but hopefully it's a new one. Either way, it's not something I've shared with you guys. So here we go. Oh, okay. I'm very full. I ate too much. Too many pancakes, several eggs. I've got my energy, which is good because I got my coffee, got some food in me. I am, for now, opting to take the route that is not going down the freeway. So we're going to take some side roads, see if we can see some really pretty scenery and everything. It's about a 3-hour trip. If we do it this way, it's going to be a little bit longer, but we're going to see how the back roads go. And then, if it's not very exciting, we'll hit the freeway. But let's get on to Estes Park. Well, about 4 miles ago, there was a sign informing me that there was a point of interest in 1 mile. It gave me no other indication as to what might be up ahead, but it said point of interest. So I've kept my eyes out for about 4 miles now. Other than a house with a ton of firewood out front, advertising that it had firewood out front, and then a large fake elk, I haven't seen anything, so. To think that maybe I should have taken the freeway up to Denver and then done the whole no freeways thing on the way to Estes Park, because basically it just took me extra time to get to Denver. But in Denver, on to Estes Park. Okay, so we're still about 20 miles outside of Estes Park, but as we all know, or if you couldn't tell by now, I am a sucker for a creek. The last one that we found on our way out last time was a little bit rougher than this one. This one's kind of flowing pretty smoothly, but I wanted to capture this and share this with you guys, so check this out. Like I said, I'm just a sucker for creeks, running water, rivers, stuff like this. It's just so pretty and peaceful to me. But we did not come here to ogle at the beauty outside of Lyons, Colorado. We came, or left the house rather, to see the beauty of Estes Park, Colorado. So let's get to that. Okay, so finally made it to Estes Park, more specifically the Rocky Mountain National Park. And as you can see, pretty popular. Most people seem to be leaving. I can only imagine it's because of that. That's not looking promising, but we're gonna try and hold out through the storm. Well, storm. I mean, there hasn't even really been any rain yet or anything, but we'll see how that develops, and then we're gonna head further in and see what we can find. Here we go. Heading into the line right now, there's a $25 day pass, which I did not know about. I'm going to spend the $25 to get in here. I'm just hoping that the storm doesn't ruin everything, so let's see. All right, paid the day pass. There is a $25 day pass. Just a heads up for anybody coming up here. I've only been here once. I'm sure I paid it last time and just didn't remember, but yeah, heads up, $25 day pass, which means I'm even more determined to outlast this thing over here. Although I've not seen lightning, heard thunder. I mean, it looks hazy, but I mean, it doesn't look like rain off in the distance. So we're gonna see how that goes. I do see up here, there is a sign that says Trail Ridge Road straight. Moraine Park, Glacier Basin, and Bear Lake are all off to the left. And I don't know which one is more appealing, but we're gonna go to the left because there's 3 of them over there. And I really want to see what a place called Glacier Basin looks like. So we're gonna head over there and see what we can find. Okay, so made it further down the road a little bit. Have not made it to the basin yet, but did find this gorgeous open space over here with kind of a river running through it. Check that out. One thing I try to keep in mind when I come to these places, and you have to pay an entry fee, like it's more than I was really expecting to pay, but you also gotta think, I mean, it goes into restoring the area, keeping everything up. I mean, it really does help with the restoration, which I think is pretty cool, and I think it's worth $25. Okay, gonna make it back over to the car because a lot of this is like open space, but I don't think it translates really well over this. So we're gonna head back to the car. I'm going to switch into my hiking boots, which I brought with me. I'm already getting rocks and dirt and crap in my shoes. So we're gonna switch over to those, head down the road and see what else we can find down here. So they do have horseback riding here. They have trails going all around this place for horseback riding. And here's one of the classes right over here actually, which actually looks like a lot of fun. I think that is something I would enjoy a lot. Let's see what else is here. The rain just came out of nowhere. Like literally there was nothing and then it just came back. And then just like that, it's gone. It's just gone. There's nothing now. No rain now. I mean, it'll be back in a few minutes, but it's gone right now. I don't know if you can make that out up there. Zoom in a little bit. There they are. Just nibbling. Hoping to see a lot more of that while we're up here. I know that people have talked about like some of the wildlife just coming like right up to you and everything, so. Oh, look, more raindrops. It's gonna keep coming and going like this. I would be willing to bet, but I don't think it's really gonna be enough to ruin the whole thing. If you don't mind a little rain, it's whatever. This is what I was talking about with the wildlife. You got this deer here. Doesn't really seem to mind the traffic too much. He didn't even care. He just looked at it and it was just like, yeah, whatever. Bus. Hello. You don't even care, do you? I wonder how close he'll let me get. I don't think you're supposed to do this, but. Okay, my heart is like pumping right now because that was the closest I think I've ever gotten to like a wild deer before. That might sound just ridiculous to some people, but like my heart is pumping, my adrenaline is going right now. I know they're pretty docile creatures, but you never know if you're gonna scare them or anything like that. They seem to be pretty cool with their surroundings and everything, but oh my God, that was incredible. I can't wait to see what else is here. So there's supposed to be a gorge down here of some kind. I did not catch the name of it. I was driving past it and I just saw the word gorge. Oh my. You can kind of see it down there a little bit. Not very well, but we're gonna go down here and see if we can get a better look at it. I will say that I have no idea how far up I've gone. I did do quite a bit of driving, probably more than I should have. Spent a little bit of time driving around though, trying to find different spots and everything. Yeah, ended up climbing quite a bit as far as altitude and everything goes to get up here. And it is definitely getting a little bit chillier up here. Nothing too bad, but definitely getting chillier. But from what I'm coming up to right now, this to me was worth it. I'm actually that amount of shape. This high altitude really kills me sometimes, but I think it's a little worth it for the stuff that we get to see up here. Before I go anywhere, hiking boots. Putting those on first, then we're moving on. I found a place called Bierstadt Lake. Does have an emergency number there. So we're right here. Bierstadt Lake is up here. I don't know if that's accurate. Is it really a mile hike? Oh well. We'll get in there, see what we can find. It's starting to sprinkle a little more again. The sun's trying to poke its head out, but it's just not happening. But we're gonna go check out Bierstadt Lake and make our way through the woods here. Really glad I brought the proper shoes. Otherwise, this could be no fun at all. It should be noted that this is by no means like complete coverage of the park. This place is absolutely huge. So I'm kind of just picking up the places that I'm seeing along the way. It's all spontaneous. Not a lot of this is planned out or anything, but I kind of like to do it that way. So as you can see, we're continuing to go up. So just a heads up for anybody coming out here. A lot of these trails are, I wouldn't call them like intermediate. You're not like bushwhacking or anything, but it is definitely a workout. It is worth it if you can make it up. Just a heads up on that. I'm seeing a lot of horse poop. It's never made me want to own a horse more. Not the poop, the incline. Well, if you want a view, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a better one than this. I know I said before that it probably wasn't right, that it was a mile hike up there, but judging from the fact that I've been going for a minute now and have not come to the lake, tells me it is about a mile hike. So I did not read the map wrong, and heads up, a little bit of a hike. Really hope it's worth it. Shortcutting prohibited, so stay on the trail. I've actually seen park rangers out and about, so I would imagine they're enforcing that pretty heavily. Finally, it seems to be flattening out and there are more trees, which is a good sign. This just has such a magical forest kind of vibe to it. If I could just like set up camp here, I think I'd be okay with that. We're gonna make our way down here though, see if we can find this lake, Bierstadt Lake. I believe I hear water, but it could be the wind. It is still drizzling, the weather is still but not so that I'm willing to call it quits. And we do seem to be flattening out a little bit, but here we go. So the trail around the lake goes that way and it goes that way. Bear Lake is that way, shoop, doop, that way. Park and Ride is that way. And then Bierstadt TH Trailhead is back that way. So we are going to continue that way. It says Bear Lake is that way. We're gonna go that way. I hope I'm not about to like Blair Witch myself. I just realized that the trail goes that way and then it goes the other way. And then Bear Lake is that way. So I figure nothing else, we take the trail around and I'll run into Bear Lake. I don't know if Bear Lake and Bierstadt Lake are the same thing. They may be the same thing. I don't know. If you get to where the trail changes, just keep going. Well, it would seem that Bierstadt Lake is 0.3 miles the way we just came. The good news, it's also 0.4 miles the way I was already gonna go. So on we go. 0.3 miles, still. Okay, well, it only took forever, but I finally found the stupid thing. Saw the sign, it's supposed to be right down here, so let's go see if we can find this thing. As beautiful as that is, I'm actually gonna have to cut that part a little short simply because the weather's not improving. Under here, under the trees where I've been hiking and where I've been walking is fine because you got everything kind of blocking, you don't really feel it as much, but the weather is not improving right now. So I'm gonna make my way back to the car. That is gonna take a few minutes in of itself, and then we're going to drive and see if we can find some other really cool stuff. Maybe stay in the car for a little bit while the rain decides what it's gonna do, and then go from there. You know, I'd thought that bringing the hiking backpack and the camping backpack, the big backpack that I have, probably gonna be a burden, not a good idea. But now all I can think about is that poncho that I know is tucked away in that thing. That is some straight out of Alice in Wonderland. If there was a forest full of stuff like that, I'd be there in a second. Something very odd and eerie about the fact that I've run into 2 people so far, and I saw them for like a split second. It was when I was going down to the lake. Those are the only 2 people I've seen so far. As far as up here, I saw a few people coming up the mountain, but they had like a toddler with them, so I don't know if they made it up here or not. It's very eerie to be in such a large forested area and not hear anybody, not see anybody. It's peaceful. It's extremely peaceful. You go to a lot of the places out here in Colorado and they're usually pretty populated. There's usually a lot of tourists and stuff like that. But out here, I know it's probably the weather, but nothing. Starting to get a more familiar view now. So we're on our way down the mountain. Oh no. First of all, I'm pretty sure this is not the trail I took down. And second of all, I'm almost positive that body of water was further down that way, which means I was further down that way when I came up here. So I have a bad feeling that I'm about to get a lot more walking done when I get down to the bottom of here to get up to wherever the heck I parked my car. Fingers crossed, I'm not that far away. You know the feeling you get in your legs the day after you work them out, or any muscle the day after you work it out? I'm feeling that now, which is gonna make for a great tomorrow. This is definitely not the same trail I took up. However, it is helping me conquer problem 1, which is getting to the bottom of the mountain. Problem 2 is figuring out where I am in relation to my car. I did say I want to go to Glacier Basin, which is that way. However, this is not improving. It's not really getting much worse, but I really just don't want to risk being stuck out here in an actual storm. And the trailhead, I know for a fact, is that away. So we are going to head that away and get into the car where it's a little bit drier. And then we're going to try and see if we can find Glacier Basin and see what else we can do with the daylight that we have left. So here we go. Problem 1 handled, got to the bottom of the mountain. Problem 2, figuring out where I am in relation to my car, because I did not come out where I parked my car. So we're going to continue going this way, which I know is the correct way. I just don't know how far we have to go down the correct way until I can finally reach my vehicle. What would an adventure be though without a little adversity? I will say this, I may have come out further down than I intended to, but at least this is somewhat flat. I'm not sure how much further we have to go. I do not see anything. Worst case scenario, I get stuck out in really poor weather, but that's the worst case scenario, and I can just kind of trek on through that. So onward. Well, the rain's not getting better. The wind is definitely getting stronger, and I am out in the middle of all of it. So I am starting to pick up pace. We're going to try and get to the car quickly before this all turns real bad real quick, like it looks like it might. Let's get through this. You know, there's a lesson to be learned in all this. Preparation, for starters, should have brought the gear, all the gear. Not that I would have needed like a tent or anything, but who knows, right? Second of all, come out where you went in. It's a basic rule. Was not paying attention. I would have figured with it being so popular that I kind of did a whole loop thing, so I was just looking at the trailhead, came out on the wrong trailhead. I mean, I'm easily like a mile down from where I parked. Hopefully the parking lot is coming up soon. The trail brought me out to the road. The good news is I see the parking lot up here, right up there. All right, not much further. Here we go. I'm numb, I'm wet, I'm cold. So we're gonna chill here in the car for a few minutes, warm up, head out, see what else we can find. Here we go. So it would appear we're at a traffic jam for some elk. That's what it's looking like anyway. Well, the weather does not seem to be improving. In fact, all of that seems to be heading this way. They did tell me that these passes here, these are the passes that they give you, these are good until midnight tonight. So what my plan is now is to do a little bit of driving. I'm gonna see if I can find a signal to try and find that waterfall that I remember here, because that is my main goal at this point. So I headed back up the mountain, and it would seem the closer I got to Glacier Gorge, the worse the weather is getting. Yeah, and this all seems to be coming in pretty quick. Yes, it is still chilly. However, down here a little bit lower down the mountain, it's actually not raining, and I think I caught a glimpse of a waterfall. I can hear it. This is turning into more of a thing than I thought it was going to. I can hear it though. Can you hear it? I'm gonna leave you guys with this little last bit of footage, and with that, I'm going to head home. Thank you for watching. Throw me a like if you like it, a subscription if you really like it, and I will see you guys next time.